Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, Tuesday, October the 18th. This is the Feast of St. Luke, writer of the Gospel of Luke and the Acts of the Apostles. So it's a good opportunity for us today to really invoke the guidance of St. Luke and thanking him for being willing to write these under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, and ask him to help guide you in your not only understanding, but your living out of his message to all of us. Okay, from the first reading is taken from 2 Timothy, St. Paul's letter, and he's writing to Timothy, his spiritual son, and he says, Alexander the coppersmith did me great harm. The Lord will pay him back for his deeds. You must also beware of him, for he is strongly opposed to our message. So, a little breakaway here. Paul is not opposed to, warning people. He's not bad-mouthing, Alexander. He's telling the truth about him. And he's warning his spiritual son Timothy to be careful of this guy, because he's influential in a kind of negative, dangerous, almost dangerous spiritually, dangerous kind of way. He's not, putting him down, as it were. He's stating an obvious truth. At my first defense, no one came to my support, but all deserted me. How much this must have hurt Paul. How much this must have hurt him. So if you feel like you've been offended or, deserted, I should say, by friends, and it really hurts you, meditate on this. Paul was not impervious to people, his friends, not defending him, not standing with him, not having his back, as we say. May it not be counted against him, but the Lord stood by me and gave me strength so that through me the message might be fully proclaimed to all the Gentiles, and all the Gentiles might hear it. So you see, Paul, he's really hurt by, these people abandoning him and living out what Jesus experienced when his friends abandoned him. But he's placing his confidence, he's aware, he's not just imagining this, he's aware, very much aware that Jesus stood by him in his trials. And that's what you and I must always be convinced about, the presence of God. Jesus is with us, and he will always be there defending us, interceding for us. He actually also gives us the Holy Spirit as a consoler, defender, someone who helps us to be sanctified in these difficult situations. So it's if you've ever sort of been abandoned, spend time reading this and just enter into Paul's heart. He was a strong guy, but he did not have a heart of steel. He had a heart of flesh, infused by grace, but still a heart of flesh. In other words, he could be wounded by a lack of love and courage of others. Okay, over to the gospel, and it's from St. Luke, as we might imagine. And it's Jesus saying, from among his disciples, the Lord appointed 70 and appointed them and sent them out ahead in place of where he himself intended to go. And he said, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, ask the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers to his harvest. And then he's basically saying, whatever house you go into, first say, peace be to this house, and so on. So Jesus is actually identifying leaders. He's raising up leaders. He is forming them. He is, in effect, making them copies of himself. And then he's sending them out, to proclaim the message, to prepare the way for himself. And that continues down through till this day. Now Jesus sends you out, if you're baptized, and he sends me out as an ordained priest. But in no less way he sends you out, because there are many people that you will encounter that your parish priest will never encounter. And if you don't take your royal priesthood seriously, you'll just say, well, that's the priest job. If not verbally and mentally, that's what you kind of hold to. No, Jesus sends you out to your workplace. He sends me out, of course, to the people where whoever comes into my kind of circumference, as it were, or orbit, in effect, wants me to encourage people like you to do this. And then from even myself, and not pass up opportunities to proclaim the good news. It could be in all sorts of ways, situations that I'm invited to or that I enter into for whatever reason. So all of us are called to go forth and proclaim the good news of salvation. Jesus still continues to identify these leaders, raise them up, form them, and then sends them out to prepare the way. Remember, as I've used this expression before, it's taken from St. Josemaria Escrivá. He said, we are envelopes, we carry the letter is Jesus Christ. So when people get the envelope, in other words, they hear the message through you and me, they read the letter, that's Jesus Christ, they throw away the envelope. So you and I don't want to get in the way of the message, the letter of Jesus, who is Jesus Christ. If we do that, we have done more than what we have done what the Lord has asked us to do, and we shall be aptly rewarded for it. God bless you. Be a good envelope. God bless you.